It averaged 5 bodies a year, but we've all been in a relationship with somebody that we just could not shake for whatever reason.
Okay, oh yeah, and I understand that toxic shit. But my thing, what I want to talk about is this morning, the lady that got on here was like, she's comfortable. This lady's dead ass said she's not in love, that she's settled and she's comfortable because she wants her kids to be able to live in the same household. I will never in my life, I understand that as adults, as parents, we want to make decisions for our kids to make sure that they have the most safe and comfortable life. But what we also have to understand is that our health, our mental health, and our happiness matters because our children feed off of that energy. So if you are in a marriage where you're just comfortable, that means that you're sacrificing your true happiness. That means that you settle within yourself and said, there's what I truly want and what truly makes me happy is not out there, so I'm going to settle for this. And you're going to live every day up until what? Your children get 18? Lord. Up until your children get 18, living in this misery, swallowing it. And this is what we gotta keep in mind too. You're swallowing that stress and you're swallowing that misery. So while you're trying to act like you're living this stress-free life and you're comfortable, you're withholding that stress within your body, and that's what turns into cancers, and that's what turns into disease. So that's why it's important. God don't want you to settle. God didn't make you or allow you to come into this life to settle. God wants you to run that race to walk the path to fulfilling your true highest good and happiness. That's what made me leave my situation, because I was comfortable. I felt like, okay, Kim, you're supposed to, the American dream, you're supposed to, go to school, do all those things, get married, find your husband, and raise your children. Not once did anyone speak to me about what it means to love someone, what it means to have respect and all of those morals and values within a relationship and within the person that I'm with. It's like, oh, okay, I like him, he fine, he know how to provide or do these things, so okay, and let me settle here. But not once did I realize that I did realize that, because I started to suffer from chronic depression and chronic anxiety, and it's because I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy, and I was holding it in so long to where he just caught me at the wrong time, and I exploded. But that could have resulted in me having a heart attack. That could have resulted in me having a stroke, and me not being able to fully be there for my kids because I'm settling. I would rather my kids have two happy parents living separately than to be forced in a situation. That's just period. I just wanted to speak on that because we do that so much. We do that so often. It's like, oh, I'm comfortable. Oh, I'm comfortable. You don't think your kids know that you're not happy with your husband? You don't think that? You don't think they feel that? You don't think they feed off of that? You don't think they pay attention to that? You as a kid. Think about your consciousness and what you were aware of as a child. You were conscious of your parents' moods and energy and all of those things, and you were feeding off of those things. You knew when mommy was happy. You knew when daddy was happy. You knew all of those things. So we got to stop thinking like we are making decisions for their happiness, not understanding that they feed off of our happiness. They feed off of our sadness. They feed off of our depression. That's why it's important that we pay attention to who we allow in our lives, in our space, in our energy. That is important. That's why I'm going through what I'm going through, and I hate the word baby daddy, is because that is some bad negative energy, y'all. And regardless of what he's trying to make it seem like, or what and the only reason he could try to make it seem like anything is because I don't want to put all my business out there. But if I put all my business out there, I'm justified in what I'm doing. But my whole point is, y'all got to stop feeling like, oh, this is for my child, this is for my child, this is for my child. And that's not the case, because every time this man don't get his way, guess what he do? He attack me. And you keep saying it's for your child, but I'm taking care of our child, so why are you attacking me? That's my whole point is, stop settling to be around these energies. I came home and I didn't mean to. Stop settling to be around these energies when no one's forcing you to be around these energies. No one's forcing you to be unhappy. Happiness is a choice. Choose happiness. Okay? Bye. All right, now that I know y'all can hear me, I wanted to continue the conversation because I wasn't done with my point. And now I know y'all can hear me, I ain't gotta talk so loud. Okay, so the point I was trying to make is that we, right, as humans, come into different levels of consciousness at different points in our life. And what I mean by that is 20-year-old you, 15-year-old you, 8-year-old you, 15-year-old you, 20-year-old you, 30-year-old you, those are completely different people, right? Because at those different ages, and we're going to stay at the age of 20 because that's the example I wanted to make. At the age of 20, you are in the mindset and the consciousness that you need to be in at that point in your life. So whatever mindset you need to be in to survive, to socialize, to you do all of those things, that's who you are at that moment, right? So imagine, right? And this is what we all do because no one is really raising and teaching anyone life. I ain't gonna say, we say we're raising, but I don't feel like that's what we're doing because we're not taught and we don't teach our children the real aspects and concepts of being human in life, period. So, let me go this way. So, this is why I want to speak on it, right? Because I want to be able to have these conversations with my child and be able to raise my child in a totally different way, to where not to where they won't make any mistakes, but their consciousness, they just have this elevated and heightened consciousness where their mistakes, they'll be on a different level because we'll still go through those lessons. But anyway, so what I was trying to say was at 20 years old, you're in that mindset to survive, to socialize, to be who you are in that consciousness. So how the mind and the mindset work and how life works is 20-year-old you and 21-year-old you can be two totally different people. Things can happen between the age of 20 and 21 that cause you to shift that mindset and shift your survival mode. So that means you're not that person, right? You're still you, but you're not consciously that person, right? You are a mature, more elevated person because you went through those trials and, we say trials and tribulations, but trials and triumphs, because it's not always trials and tribulations, right? So imagine being 20 years old, because I was this person, right? Imagine being 20 years old and being programmed and to the point where you feel like you have to make a decision on where you want to work for the next 80 years, who you want to be with for the next 80 years, who you want to have children with and have to co-parent and coexist with for the next 80 years. So imagine forcing your life at the age of 20 to be with someone and to be in a relationship, or because you made a mistake and being naive and had children at a young age, but everything happens for a reason. But imagine you telling yourself that you have to settle in that for the next 80 years. You're not going to be 20-year-old you for the next 80 years. That person is not going to be whoever they are for the next 80 years. So that's why it's important that when we choose relationships, and I'm so grateful that I went through that at a young age to where now I am not pressed for a relationship. I'm not pressed to cohabitate and be with someone and share my space and my energy with someone who's not deserving, and it is not going to help me. It's not going to help me elevate and grow, and it's not going to elevate and grow with me. I want you to grow and expand and elevate to your highest good, because that's what I'm doing. And I'm not going to want to be with you and you're going to be stagnant and you settle and you're okay with the life and everything that you have going on. I'm not settling for that. So we need to get into the consciousness of stop trying to force ourselves to fit into one person's frame. That is not God's plan for everyone. Some of us, yes, we need to, go to school and find someone to settle down with and be a nuclear family because that's your plan and your lessons lie in that plan. But that's not everyone's plan. Okay? So all of this with her saying, oh, I'ma settle because I want my children to live in the same household, and this girl says she's not in love. What? Why do you not want to be in an environment of love? So if you're not in love, how are your children in an environment of love? Like how? If you're not in love, if this is not an in-love relationship, that doesn't make sense to me. And I was that person. I felt like, okay, I gotta be, and I did not like him. And I'm a blunt and vocal person, and I was dealing with the narcissist, and up until now I kept attracting narcissists because I did not recognize the trait in the personality and that energy. I didn't recognize that, and that's what I kept attracting. That's also another reason why I am comfortable where I am, because until I heal and I stop attracting that personality, I'm straight. Like, seriously. But outside, going back to what I was saying, was I didn't like who I was with. And I felt like, okay, Kim, you're supposed to, and everybody around me is preaching nuclear family, preaching this American dream, and everything in me is not happy to where the point where I'm actually feeling physical pain. Don't ever settle to where you are harming yourself physically. I know, because I felt it, and I still feel it because I'm still healing from it. And this is, like I said, me making videos for y'all and expressing this is therapeutic, but I know I'm helping other people, and other people will find this video and hear what I'm saying. Don't ever feel like you got to settle, because I promise you, you don't know, he might be feeling the same way, and that might be why you're in an abusive relationship as well. That could be another reason, because you are forcing this person to be with you, and they don't like you. You're not, you know what I'm saying? And that's okay, because you're supposed to grow and elevate. Y'all just not for each other. Y'all just not supposed to cohabitate in the same space. Y'all positive and negative energies is doing this. And that's okay. Learn when to walk away. It's okay. And you will have to just develop your life for your children. But what I'm trying to understand is, we feel like our children would suffer with us living apart, not understanding that they need healthy parents. So I would rather my daughter come to my house and have a healthy version of me, and go to her dad's house and have a healthy version of him, and be in a healthy, loving environment, versus us being together and I know I don't like him, and he know he dealing with shit, and I deserve better, and all that other unnecessary toxic bullshit that we put ourselves through. It's unnecessary, because whether we realize it or not, our children pick up on that energy. They feed off of that energy. And if you're not in an environment of love, and especially in an environment where you can love on yourself the way you need to, that is not the environment that you need to be in. Like, I'm so serious about that part. Because people will suffocate you, and people will try to force you to be the version of you that they need you to be, so that they can complete their own illusion of what they feel is happiness. But you can't be happy trying to force, because you don't understand what's for your highest good if you're trying to force it. You understand? Okay, so that was what I wanted to say. I wanted to continue that message for today. I was supposed to do a full moon reading for you guys. I'm not as backed up with my homework as I thought I was, y'all. I'm working through this anxiety. I need an assistant, and I'm just so serious. And I don't want to say a girlfriend, because I don't ever want to bring somebody into my life and make them feel like the help, you know. But I am gonna need an assistant, and I'm going to need to expand and do some things moving throughout the end of 2022. So I will get readings done. I'll try to get readings in my time schedule, but it's not going to be a lot of slots. What I want to try to do is just start off with doing live readings, and if y'all catch me live and y'all get me, you know, then that's how I want to start doing that. So anyways, that was y'all message, because I heard that this morning, and I am trying to manifest healing blockages and overthinking and feeling overwhelmed, and finding out those things that trigger me, and stopping certain patterns. That was my manifestation list, y'all. So I'm working through that. So y'all will see more videos of me feeling like I'm ranting and raving. I'm not ranting and raving, and I'm really not yelling. I was just talking loud because I'm in the car, and this is a new little thing right here. It's all up in my face. I don't like it, but anyways, I want y'all to have a positive and productive day. I want y'all to be blessed, okay? Namaste.